Hey, what's going on, guys? Seth here with the Christ in Sports podcast. In this video, we will be going over Proverbs 6. Fun fact, I actually did this video last night, so yesterday, a couple days ago, maybe, it's been a while. But I went back and I watched the video just to kind of like look at it. I haven't actually watched any of my own videos other than the first one and then the Proverbs 7. So yeah, I actually made two of these videos, and I ended up deleting them because in the Proverbs 7 video, the mic quality was just downright terrible. And then the Proverbs 6 video, I started watching it, and that is when I realized that my mic had been off the entire time. So we're not making that same mistake today. Anyway, excuse me. Let's get right into it. Proverbs 6, financial entanglements, verse 1. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor or entered into an agreement with a stranger, what is this? Get out of here, I'm busy. What's going on the right side here? It don't matter. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor or entered into an agreement with a stranger, you have been trapped by the words of your lips, ensnared by the words of your mouth. Do this then, my son, and free yourself, for you have put yourself in your neighbor's power. Go humble yourself and plead with your neighbor. Alright, so pause here and we'll talk. We'll say right now it's talking about your word is your bond, right? Oh my goodness. I'm just waking up too. It's 8:20 a.m. I was up till 1 in the morning. Yeah, so it's like just waking up. But yeah, so further on, verse 4, don't give sleep to your eyes or slumber to your eyelids. Escape like a gazelle from a hunter, like a bird from a fowler's trap. So what this verse 4 and 5 are saying is when you have a bond to someone, you should give every effort to get out of it. Right? So like if I owe my dad $20, I'm not gonna go into further debt with him or with someone else and go to McDonald's, but I'm gonna instead try to pay him off as quickly as possible. One example, when I was like 16, so 2 years ago, I loved Legos, bro. I still love Legos, but I really got back into Legos during COVID and stuff. And so one of my buddies who also loved Legos, he would let me borrow money. And so, in other words, I was in debt. I think at one time I owed him like $120, and it would just keep going up because I just could not. I didn't have any wisdom with me, and I would just keep buying Lego, or it would be Legos or Freddy's. This restaurant called Freddy's. It's pretty good. For like 2 years, me and my friends just pretty much were their income. And yeah, I was in debt, and I just didn't care. Right? I was the opposite of verse 4. I just kind of left it. And then one day it did hit me, and I did have to pay it all off. But I definitely did not escape like a gazelle, and my financial entanglement lasted a lot longer than it should have. Anyway, let's continue on. The laziness section here. Verse 6. Go to the ant, you slacker. Observe its ways and become wise. Without leader, administrator, or ruler, it prepares its provisions in summer. It gathers its food during harvest. How long will you stay in bed, you slacker? When will you get up from your sleep? A little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, and your poverty will come like a robber, your need like a bandit. So what's this saying? Be diligent, silly Billy. Uh, it's talking here, ants are diligent workers because they're always working so that in the winter they have food because they go underground. But then right here, verse 10 and 11, this is really where it's talking about the laziness. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, and your poverty will come like a robber. So what that's saying is, you take a couple off days, and sooner or later, you're gonna feel the effects. So like a couple examples. If, for example, this summer as an athlete, you're supposed to train. If you commit yourself to something 15 minutes a day, every day for a year, you'll be in the top 10% in that thing in the world. Now, I don't know what that is for America and then athletes, but usually what you do is you commit yourself to that sport. Well, I did not do that this summer. Instead, this summer I took a break a little bit. I still played the game of baseball. Like I would show up on the weekends. I'd throw twice a week during the week, and then show up on the weekends for the games. But I never actually lifted. I used to lift all the time, and then so I stopped lifting one day, and this was my thought process. Oh, it's okay, it's kind of a rest day. I'm still working on this flip house project, right? So I'm still like working my body. So it's not a terrible missed opportunity. Well, there goes one day. And then the next day comes. I say the exact same thing. So there's 2 days in a row, 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. And next thing you know, I've lost 20 pounds of muscle. I'm barely 160. And yeah. So a little sleep, a little rest, and I was broke again. I lost so much. Same thing with studying. You could say, don't study one night, don't study 2 nights. Next thing you know, you're failing the quiz, right? You can't cram all your studying into one night. But let's continue on. The malicious man, verse 12. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes around speaking dishonestly, winking his eyes, signaling with his feet, and gesturing with his fingers. He always plots evil with perversity in his heart. He stirs up trouble. Therefore, calamity will strike him suddenly, and he will be shattered instantly beyond recovery. Um, when I read this, the first thing I think about is Satan in the Garden of Eden with Eve. He goes and he speaks this honestly to them, right? Uh, no, you won't die if you eat the apple from the tree that God told you not to do. God's just, messing with you. And in reality, he had perversity in his heart and he was stirring up trouble. He had a hidden agenda, right? So then, Adam and Eve, they sin against God, and God comes back and he's like, Satan, dude, you may have struck man's heel, but they will strike you on the head. Calamity will strike Satan. That's what I think of when I read that. Because that's what the picture of a malicious man is. And if you are a malicious man, you are a man of Satan, I was just reading. Um, I'm not just reading Proverbs. I'm reading other books of the Bible because my plan is by the end of the year to have read the whole Bible. So I'm reading a lot. and I just can't remember everything. It all just kind of blends together. I don't have the best memory, so I have to take notes. Even then, I still suck. Um, but it might have just been Proverbs, but it gave the ideal righteous man and it gave the ideal wicked man. Like the image of both. And this would go perfectly with that image of the stop it, the wicked man. Anyway, let's continue on. What the Lord hates, write these down and see how many of them are relatable to you. Verse 16, the Lord hates 6 things, in fact 7 are detestable to him: arrogant eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet eager to run the evil, a lying witness who gives false testimony, and one who stirs up trouble among brothers. So let's rewind and we'll go through these again with some examples. So arrogant eyes. If this ad right here was a picture of a woman with a bikini, I think it'd be pretty arrogantly to just start watching this ad, and your eyes would just be there to be arrogant. Lying tongue, come on, that's just lying, right? Everybody has lied in their life, so everyone knows what that is. Hands that shed innocent blood. Now, you could take this as straight up murder, killing someone. That's what most people would say. But even if, I punch someone who had nothing to do with me, or if I just harm someone in some way, I can't think of any non-violent examples that hurt the innocent. I'd say that goes with this as well. A heart that plots wicked schemes. I mean, every like I don't know. Sometimes I plan to go again. Like sometimes I know what's right and wrong, and I still plan against. And then that could go with feet eager to run to evil. I still know what's right and wrong, but I still want what's wrong. And then a lying witness, again, lying and stirring up trouble. But let's continue on. Verse 20. And just a heads up, the rest of this chapter, so 20 through 35, it'll tie in to Proverbs 7, because Proverbs 6 here is warning us against adultery, and then Proverbs 7 is about the enjoyment of marriage, but then also a story of seduction and how lust plays into our lives. But for right now, I'll tie in Proverbs 7. You'll see it. But for now, let's go ahead and read Proverbs 6 verse 20. My son, keep your father's command and don't reject your mother's teaching. Always bind them to your heart. Tie them around your neck. All right, pause. We have heard this for the past 6 chapters now. So, must be pretty important. You must tie them around your neck like that necktie at that wedding. That just seems to get tighter and tighter as the night goes on. Just as Jesus in the Bible should become closer and closer to you as your life goes on. 22. When you walk here and there, they will guide you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. When you wake up, they will talk to you. For a command is a lamp, teaching is a light, and corrective discipline is the way to life. They will protect you from an evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a stranger. Don't lust in your heart for her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyelashes. All right, pause. Yeah, so they will protect you from an evil woman. What is they? Jesus and his word, you know. Then further on, don't lust in your heart for her beauty. Lust comes from the heart. right? And if your heart is lustful, it's just you can't serve two masters. You can't have lust in your heart and God in your heart at the same time. Let's continue on, verse 26. Right here, for a prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread, but an adulteress goes after a precious life. Can a man embrace fire and his clothes not be burned? Can a man walk on burning coals without scorching his feet? So it is the one who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. All right, pause. Yeah, obviously, if you commit adultery, if you're married and you're having adultery, you're having sex with someone else's wife, obviously there's going to be problems there, you know. Kind of a common sense statement there. Ooh, guys, heads up, I just used my brain. Very controversial. Let's continue on, verse 30. Uh, People don't despise the thief if he steals to satisfy himself when he is hungry. Still, if caught, he must pay 7 times as much. He must give up all the wealth in his house. The one who commits adultery lacks sense, and whoever does destroys himself. He will get a beating and dishonor, and his disgrace will never be removed. For jealousy enrages a husband, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not be appeased by anything or be persuaded by lavish gifts. Now, I've never been married, and I've never had my wife cheat on me or something. But I would assume I'd be pretty mad, just like this is saying here. I'd probably want to beat the crap out of the guy that slept with my wife. So, yeah, I can probably agree with this statement. But, all right, guys. Other than any questions, comments, or concerns, class? No? Oh, okay. Well, if you do, you can always leave them in the comment section. Any prayer requests as well, you can either leave them in the comment section or you can follow me at my Instagram and you can DM me. The Instagram is right here, Christ_and sports. Pretty active, as you can see. I try to post every day some daily strength, daily encouragement from the Lord. So maybe I can encourage you and strengthen you, but also pray for you. So, but that'll be it today. I'll wrap it up. See you.